Instagram is working on a kids version. Facebook gets into newsletters. YouTube takes on TikTok. And the UK government wants to name and shame influencers. Hi, my name is Brian and welcome to the Social Update, where I give you all the news about everything that's happening in social media every week. Let's kick it off with Instagram like we usually do. Now, Instagram issued a new policy where they ban adults from talking to teens in the DMs that the teenagers do not follow. Now, obviously, that sounds like a dangerous thing anyway. Why are you talking to teenagers on Instagram? Don't do that, please, don't do that. You know, if they're your nieces and nephews, yeah. But if they're not, make sure they follow you, right? If an adult should DM a teenager that the teenager does not follow, let's just say it's your nephew or your niece or your cousin or whoever, someone in your family, and they just don't follow you, right? That person will be given a prompt saying, hey, this person is trying to DM you. Do you know them? You can block, report, or whatever, right? For suspicious behavior. Or and the adult will also get a prompt saying, hey, you're not allowed to kind of DM this teenager as they do not follow you. Now, obviously, this is to stop predatory action and predatory people and abuse and all these kind of things, right? On Instagram, which is obviously a good thing. Now, the age to get on Instagram is 13 and up. Now, obviously, we know people can lie, children can lie about their age. We've all probably done it on some sites. Not those sites. And there is no way of verifying someone under the age of 16 because guess what? They don't have ID. The only form of ID a child under 16 would have is their passport. But not everybody has a passport sometimes, innit? Or their birth certificate or whatever, right? But a lot of people are gonna lie, might say they're 16 or 18, right? So, how is Instagram going to figure out who's lying about their age? Well, they've got some AI and some machine learning to kind of look at people's actions, younger people's actions, etc., everyone's actions, to see what they're kind of doing. Because a 13-year-old will likely follow probably other young people or certain types of content because they're young. They're a kid, essentially, isn't it? So they're going to try and get the computer to try and figure out if this person has lied about their age, etc., and they'll be talking to other young people on the app, etc., etc. So that's one of the ways, because that's one of the ways they're just going to figure out if the kid is lying or not, right? So 13 is a pretty young age to be on something like Instagram because there's all kinds of content, all kinds of people on there that could do harm, bullies, abusers, predators, all these kind of people on Instagram, and all the kinds of different content that any child can see that they probably shouldn't be seeing at the tender age of 13. I don't know if there's a different Instagram for 13-year-olds. So if you put that you are 13 to like 16, I don't know if Instagram reduces the ads or blocks certain content. I really don't know. I hope they really do, because that wouldn't make sense if someone 13-year-old comes on and is able to see the whole of Instagram. That really wouldn't make sense. So I hope they've got restrictions. I should go look that up. So also begs the question is, should Instagram make another app for kids? Hear me out, because they're actually looking into it. Instagram is heavily going into making an app for under 13-year-olds. Yep, 6 to 13. Hear me out. I know it sounds like a bad idea. But hear me out. Let's weigh up the pros and cons here. YouTube has YouTube for Kids, and that is for like 5, 4, 3. My son's 3 and he watches YouTube for Kids. And that's all the way up to about 12 until they can go onto the main YouTube account. And even YouTube is trying to create a space on the main YouTube account for 12-year-olds to about 16-year-olds to kind of bridge that gap. Because it's a huge jump from kids YouTube to adult YouTube, right? And all the stuff you can find. So Instagram is heavily looking into creating an Instagram for under 13s. Now, I think it's a good idea because there will be no ads. There will be very specific content for kids. And that means other kids can create content for other kids. Other adults can create content for kids education, kids cartoons, and all that kind of stuff. Don't think there'll be ads, because on YouTube Kids there is no ads, which is good, of course. Well, you can't advertise to kids. There are laws about that. The cons of that, obviously, is making it a hub for predators to go and find children because they know they can speak to them through that. But one thing is that it probably won't have comments because children can't leave comments. Children can't type. Do you know what I mean? So there'll be no comments. So essentially there wouldn't really be a way for children to communicate with other kids. I'm sure there won't be any DMs or comments. So it's just a viewing experience for kids. Now I think personally it's good because you'll get, you know, a space for the younger audience so they don't have to come onto the main Instagram. The con of that is that Instagram is going after the kids. Instagram is now getting data and behavior from the kids. But Kids know what phones are now. I grew up with a Nokia. These kids are growing up with iPhones that do all these AR and VR and all these different types of things. And kids are growing up with the technology in their mouth. We had, I myself, and my age group, millennials, had to learn how to use this technology. We saw this technology birth. I had the first iPhone, right? But these kids are starting on iPhone 12s and 13s and 15s, right? And whatever. So the kids are going to know what Instagram is, social media is. So they're going to get on it much earlier than we ever did. Should there be an Instagram for kids? Let me know in the comments. There's some pros, there's some cons. Let me know in the comment. Let me know what the hell you think Instagram should or should not be doing. Facebook wants another piece of the pie, and this time the pie is from the newsletters kitchen. They're gonna stealing the pie from the newsletters. All right, so they want to attract raw writers onto their platform by allowing them to write articles on Facebook, have a special section, and get paid via, people can subscribe to their writing and newsletters. There are currently a few platforms that do that already. There's Review that was bought by Twitter, so Twitter is also getting into the newsletter pie, and there's Substack, who've been a company that's been supporting writers, allowing them to have a freelance career by allowing them to charge for newsletter subscriptions. Same with Review, and this is what Facebook also wants to do. Now, Facebook wants to eat out everybody's pot and pie, right? They're also working on a Clubhouse rival, but it is what it is. It's always all business with Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg wants to take over the world. There might be Facebook Air, a freaking airplane company. Who knows? Yeah, Facebook Space. It might be Facebook City in space. Who knows? Mark Zuckerberg obviously wants to take over the world, own everything, have everyone. Might be a Facebook school. YouTube has finally launched its TikTok rival in the US. They've been testing it for a couple of months to the Indian audience, and now they've launched it in beta mode to the US, meaning not everybody will get it. There's some special circumstances whether you got it, right? Clearly makes sense because they have YouTube Music, so they already have all the licensing and all the agreements in place with the big music companies and publishers. So it's the same thing. Now they just created the format and created the technology to rival TikTok, right? And it's called Shorts. So they got YouTube Stories, YouTube Shorts, right? Two vertical different formats. It's kind of like Stories and Reels, right? And it just goes to show that TikTok has all these apps on the ropes, right? TikTok came out, decimated the social landscape, took over. Everybody was creating TikToks. Instagram reacted with Instagram Reels. Snapchat reacted with Snapchat Spotlight, and they were giving away up to $1 million a day. Whoever had the most views will get a piece of the $1 million. Now YouTube has reacted with YouTube Shorts. Man, it's the stories of revolution all over again, right? Everybody's like, what are we gonna do? Create our own version. Now, nothing has matched up to TikTok just yet. If TikTok is a 5 for its editing capability and all the creativity and everything else that it's got on that platform, everything else is a 1. It's a 1 in terms of the editing capability, the reach, all of that. None of them is up to par with TikTok yet, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's a competition, it's a race. TikTok is winning. There's time. We'll see what all these platforms do in terms of differentiate themselves from the TikTok original version, and we'll see. I'm excited because it's good to compete, because I'm on TikTok, but I don't really do much on TikTok. But I've built a reputation on places like Instagram. Some people have built their reputation on Snapchat, and some people built their reputation on YouTube. So it's good for these platforms to have their versions, so you can continue building your reputation on said platforms versus like, oh man, I gotta go to a whole new platform and figure out that platform instead. So competition is good for us, and it's good for the companies. Let me know what you think about YouTube Shorts. Have you seen them? Are they any different? Are they better? Are you going to use them if they come out? Let me know. All the Clubhouse copycats are coming for the neck of Clubhouse. Telegram, which is a messaging platform that rivals WhatsApp, just updated their voice chats feature, and it's essentially the same as Clubhouse. You can have a room and you can invite people to listen in on that room. Obviously, you have to have the Telegram app. But the difference is, there's two big differences that Clubhouse doesn't have. Telegram rooms are unlimited. You can have millions of people listening in one room, versus Clubhouse, the limit is 5,000 people. Now, when people like Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg came on and did a chat, the room was clearly going to be more than 5,000 people. And instead of them lifting the limit, what people had to do was create another room and play the audio from another phone to that room, and that hit 5,000, and they had to do the same thing again, and people were live streaming it on YouTube just so people could listen, right? That's just crazy. That's just long, right? With Telegram, you can have millions of listeners and there's no limit to the room. You can also record the room. You can't do that on Clubhouse. So they stated some conversations are just conversations that come and go, and some conversations want to be recorded and put on YouTube or put on Instagram. Now, I understand the concept of Clubhouse, like, oh, it's a conversation like you would have in real life, and then when you have the conversation, you both leave, the conversation disappears, like you just have it in your memories. Cool, that's all good, but we have that in real life. I didn't ask you for something that I had in real life to be virtual, to be digital, yeah? I have that in real life. I do that in real life. Cool. Clubhouse is content, yeah? Loads of people are making content, hosting webinars and seminars and all these types of rooms where people are dropping so much value, and already people are already recording them, putting them on their Instagram and putting them on their YouTubes. So why not just allow them to record? You know, even if you want to charge people for it or whatever the hell you want to do, people are already doing it. So if the users are doing it, you need to kind of implement that feature. That's just it for me. So Clubhouse won't be there for me until I'm able to record what the hell I'm saying, because I can use it for content. Other than, besides that, Clubhouse need to step up, because there's a lot of people coming for their neck. UK government has had enough. Right, they've had enough with influencers not putting #ad or just ad on, you know, their post that they've been paid for, whether they've been gifted, whether it's an advert or whatever it is. You have to declare that it's an ad. Now they're so fed up that they said they might start naming and I don't know where this list will be. I don't know if it'll be on the .gov website. I don't know if it's going to be in the sky. I don't know if it's going to be outside your house or whatever. But they said they might start naming and shaming influencers who don't follow the rules, because it's kind of getting too much. You need to declare an ad. You need to let us know what an ad is. Those are the rules in the UK. Now, they've reached out to places like Instagram, etc., to help police this issue, right? And Instagram said, yeah, we're going to help you. They haven't come up with anything yet, because I don't know how you detect someone's post and then kind of like ask them if it's an ad or not, yeah? But they're working on it. So if you're an influencer, you might want to put ad. That is it for this week's social update. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about any of the topics in the comments. Please like, share, and obviously comment, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.